I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Merch. Song number 1.
This is 50 years ago, DJ Revo is telling us.
It's from the band Sweet, and the name of the song is Teenage Rampage. DJ Revo says, time to start in 1974. Just to recap. Watergate investigations are going on. Yom Kippur War is going on, along with the energy crisis that came with it. The only major new development is the UK had an election with Conservative PM Health called to resolve Parliament at the start of February. The mining strikes, the 3-day week, and 20% inflation dominated the campaign. Despite the press being almost entirely backing Conservatives and Heath, was that Health or is that Heath? I don't know enough about the topic.
Heath. They lost their majority.
Although no other party gained a majority, Labour had a plurality, and so they started a minority government when the election happened at the end of February. This stream will just cover January and February of 1974.
That's crazy.
Okay.
To the month!
This first song is British glam rock band Sweet. You've reacted to several of their songs, Balloon Blitz and Little Willie, also Blockbuster. This song shares the songwriter team of Nick Chin and Mike Chapman with those songs. Mike said he was inspired to write the song after seeing a show of the band. After seeing a show of the band with fans chanting the band's name. This is one of their last songs before the lead singer Brian Connolly was jumped outside of a bar. The assaulters attacked his throat, which forever altered his singing, and caused their next album release later this year to feature the other bands providing vocals.
That sucks.
Yeah, the band speculates that he must have been flirting with the attacker's girlfriend, and he got jealous. This song was a single only and reached number 2 in the UK charts. It was released by RCA Records in January of 1974.
All right, well, here we go. Teenage Rampage by Sweet, I believe it's what it's called.
It is.
There it is. All right, Teenage Rampage, let's go.
They turn on the heat and soon they
Alrighty
Teenage
then.
Rampage.
By the way, guys, if you were curious as to how the stream went yesterday, you can't watch it because it's blocked because 3 of the 10 songs we reviewed were official. So we got 3 block notifications. So everything in that stream, nobody can see. So we're gonna fix that particular stream. But as I said, if you guys want, whoever's the DJ, I'm generally gonna try to default to them. The only problem of using official videos, we can get away with it at times, but it's definitely gonna get blocked, and people are not gonna be able to see the entire video. It's the kind of situation we're in right now with the stream yesterday. So that's something we gotta think about, because now we gotta go in there, put it in iMovie, cut it up, put the lyric video on top, then re-upload the a 4-hour, 6-hour show at 1440p. So anyway, so if you're wondering where it went, that's where it went. Okay? So all right. Now, having said that,
At least it was 3 out of the 10 instead of 1 person. Like one person that ruined it for everybody.
well, there was one person that had 2 picks.
Oh no!
So there really was one person that ruined it for everybody. But I mean, again, like in the moment, it worked. It's just you're not going to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
So that's why we have policies and procedures here, listener. But anyway, all right. What did you think of the song?
I mean, I'm gonna echo what CISO said. Like, it's so upbeat, but like some of the stuff that they're saying, like, come and join the revolution, get yourself the Constitution, join the revolution now. First of all, somebody mentioned, I think it was Ben, like, better than what comes up now with the Teenage Rampage.
Yeah,
I actually don't know what the.
Well, I mean, now when you hear about a Teenage Rampage on CNN, you automatically think active shooter.
Oh no.
Right? Because, you know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, I only hear about it from you, so you don't use those terms.
Yeah, like, it is a very interesting contrast, like in 1974. Like, what I am certain that if your parents caught you listening to this song, they would interpret that as some sort of rebellion. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's just hilarious to me, like, what parents consider, like, crazy, rebellious, teenage angst or whatever, like how important it is and all the rest of it. Like, it's a pretty crazy thing to think about, because I'm like, oh, I just imagine, mom's cleaning up her room, then she sees a Teenage Rampage CD. I mean, you remember, like, right-wing Christians during the 80s and 90s, man, there was a routine, disc burning rituals, all types of craziness. Shout out to Middle. I knew you'd be there, buddy. I think I messaged you. Hopefully I texted you to whatever. Yeah, but like all over the land, the kids are finally starting to get the upper hand. They're out on the streets. They turn on the heat, and soon they could be completely in command. This is stuff that like only teenagers think is like possible. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's written in a very juvenile kind of way that's fun and non-threatening. It's just, to me, it would just, I know it would be interpreted as some giant act of rebellion and prayer meetings, all types of craziness. And
when
the
they're
song
talking about,
is pretty cool. But
when they say the revolution, what are we talking about? Teenage legislation. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's what is it, 1974?
Yeah.
So Vietnam, for all intents and purposes, is done. So there was no like revolution where folks could actually, get in the shit and die.
Uh-huh.
It's just a lot of rhetoric. At the times, like, oh, revolution, everything is a revolution. It's the same thing now. Like, we need a revolution. But it's going to be bloodless with no guns. It's like, okay, it's not a revolution then. Bless God. Imagine the sensation of teenage occupation. At 13, they'll be learning. At 14, they'll be burning. But there's something in the air which we will all be aware, but they don't care. No. Why is it a big thing with teenagers to front like you don't care about shit? Like, what? Why do we do that?
You know what? I
mean, I'm not going to lie. I did that shit a lot when I was like, I don't care.
I half wonder if it's because, like, older people, the more you live, the more you realize, well, that's actually important.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if it's like the
Second.
judgment of the teenagers on the older ones being like, wow, everything's a big deal to these people. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe it's kind of that, like, you know, you're just like, I don't care. I don't really know. Like, I didn't, you know, have a normal teenage experience.
You did not.
So
You did not.
we didn't walk around saying we
Especially
didn't
as an-
care. I was like
especially
trying
as
to
an American.
evangelize my neighborhood and
Right. You guys.
so, like, even of the Christian crew, I didn't fit in with it. So I never walked around saying I don't care. I was the one judging everything and saying everything was really important. So we're gonna default to you, Vin. Why did
This
you
is
say that?
Revo's dream. I'm just interested in it as it's witnessed in 1974. So I have to fix this. Hold on. I didn't do. Yeah. All right.
What do
Here
you
we
mean?
go.
Okay.
Well, did he have some of the songs?
I mean, he's in on the.
I see what you're saying. MCR has a song called Teenager that has a similar tone now that I think about it. Yeah, like.
So what do you think it is? Why the I don't care?
I think, you know, when you're a teenager, you're trying to separate from your parents. You're really trying to, like, eke out that identity away from your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the apathy attitude is a way for them to try to clean the slate with something like basic so that they can start and build their own identity. It's like you have apathy in the sense that you guys are telling me I should care about this shit. I don't care about none of this shit. See what I'm saying? And so that like laissez-faire attitude kind of is like, I'm rejecting everything you're putting on me, so I don't care. It's not significant. So that way I can build up my own mentality, my own likes, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
in separation from your parents. But good Lord. Teenagers don't have internal walls built, so they have to at least show on the outside that they aren't soft. That's also true. Especially depending on where you came up, where like people perceiving you as soft is not just like an aesthetic thing where you're like, oh no, I'm upset. People think like you could get hurt. Because if people think you're soft,
you are, yeah.
people think you're soft, they're gonna get at you.
Yep.
But what's interesting is like, yeah, there's the apathy, but then there's also the come and join the revolution.
Yeah.
And like, there's nobody more malleable in the hands of a bad operator than a teenager.
Jeez. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like Muhammad, like when he got excised from Mecca
Yeah.
and he went to Medina, the vast majority of those guys were young. They were teenagers. They were Shabab boys. That's why they have a terrorist group right now called Al-Shabaab.
What age group are we talking about? You say young. It's a little bit, you know.
Shabab would be from like 12 anyway to like 16, 18 in that mindset, right?
Okay.
So like there's literally a group called Al-Shabaab, which would be the youth. Literally, there's a terrorist group in Somalia called the Youth.
Yeah.
And that's translated as Al-Shabaab. And this is a thing in history with the Aus and the Hazraj, the people that were taking care of Muhammad. All of their parents had died because they were in a beef with each other, and their kids were left over, and those were the people that embraced Muhammad.
Oh my God. So wait a minute. Oh, I was just about to ask you if the parents cared that they were part of that, but you're saying the parents had already died.
Well, yeah, the parents, the other parents already died, so they had to basically run their own shop, and so. Obviously,
was it like Lord of the Flies?
Yes, it was really like that. Muhammad showed up and they gave him a unifying principle, and then they went out and fought all those other people because they were warriors the entire time.
Wow.
And it's true. Like you go out on the field, like a lot of times, like dudes are picking up stuff from teenagers, man. Like, and then child soldiers. I mean, it's getting pretty dark. But anyway, when you say come and join the revolution, like. That is a really interesting take because on the one hand it's like we're silly kids, you know, and they're like come join the revolution. Like that's a crazy thing about being a teenager, man. It's like they're so mercurial that literally anything could convince them to go out and do some crazy shit.
Yeah, I think one of the ways that we kind of fail teenagers is not to take them seriously. And I think that kind of would. You know, because there are groups of people. Hey, what's up, Tina?
Tina and this bitch.
You know, there are groups of people, like some of the stuff that you've been listening to that I catch the corner of. It's like these groups of people that are like, I have a Patreon. Like your parents are this way and that way. Come talk to me. I'm here
the
for
weirdo.
you.
The weirdo guy,
Yeah. But like, if teenagers are saying something and they're like, I remember feeling like, okay, we can take over the world. My generation can take over the world because we're looking at stuff differently than the adults. Because the adults seemed like the stuff that I thought was important, they didn't really think was that important anymore. Or they didn't think they should put as much energy in. Because I thought, when you get older, you have more resources. So whatever it is that you felt like you should do when you were a teenager, you should be up on 10 now because you have the resources to do that on 10.
Right.
So, and they're like kind of like living their lives. So then I was like, okay, then it's our generation, like we're the ones.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great thing about being a teenager too, is you're so irrationally confident about shit. It's not until you find out like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're in 1974. Good start off song. 9.2 got me in the feeling. We got Papa Emeritus the fourth in this bitch. We got Tina in this bitch. We got Middle Earth. We got Hell. Oh my goodness.
8.9 for me.
I'll give it a 9.1. 9.1. Commercial break, dear listener. By the way, don't forget March Madness. We got a commercial coming for you guys in a couple minutes. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone. Timestamp.